Alright, so before we get started, I gotta give a shout out to my friend Sharingan Uchiha 97. He put in the request for me to review this game. So if you haven't met him already, go check him out. Once again, his name is Sharingan Uchiha 97. He's an awesome guy. Go friend request him or whatever, subscribe if he has videos. Yeah. Alright, so like I said, this video is gonna be about the Kingdom Hearts series. And here I have Kingdom Hearts 2 for the PS2 and Birth by Sleep. Or not Birth by Sleep. I wish I had Birth by Sleep. But 358 over 2 days. Alright, so Kingdom Hearts series. I had all the games, I should say, and I've beaten them all. The only ones I haven't beaten are the final mixes of 1 and 2. But for the most part, I've beaten all the games. I beat number 1 and I beat Chain of Memory. So I'm good with the whole story. I know pretty much the whole story. Alright, so to start off, what makes these games so unique and so great is the storyline. And I mean, the storyline, in this game, the storyline is probably the deepest and most intricate and unique of any game you'll ever play. I mean, it's got so many elements, such unique things, Heartless, Nobodies, Organization 13, all the enemies, and it's just a top-notch RPG for sure. Like, this is probably my favorite RPG I have ever played, and I can probably say that for a while. Now, when you think about Square Enix and Disney coming together to make a video game, you might kind of think, no way, nah. But because I mean, like, you think Disney, so you think, oh, it's just gonna be like a little softy game. It's not gonna be intense at all. That is not the case with Kingdom Hearts 2, and if you think that, then really just give it a chance, because even though it does include Disney characters, they make them really hard and intense, like really cool, like Mickey, he's not some little mouse that runs around in shorts, he's an intense character, he's got his Keyblade and he's rocking it, So don't put this game down just because it includes Disney characters. It is actually very intense. And like I said, the storyline is really what makes this game so famous. Kingdom Hearts 1 was the first one to come out, of course, and it's the storyline introduced in it was so unique and it was really complex and really hard to grasp just from the first game. Because, I mean, even from the first game, you couldn't really understand the whole storyline. It takes all of them to have a full understanding. So if you're picking this game up at like number 2, or if you're picking it up at 358 over 2 days, I suggest you go back and play the other ones or look online for the storyline, because you probably will be confused. And I mean, it's doable, but if you really want to appreciate this game for what it is, you should probably understand the storyline. But you will get a kick out of the game just from the gameplay, because the gameplay is really good. Gameplay alone, I'll probably give an 8, because it can get slightly repetitive at times, but that's not too much of a factor. It's still really fun. Boss fights in the game are really cool. You get special moves, and you get to do special things for certain bosses, like when you have to fight Hades and you're fighting Cerberus. Like, the specials you can do, you can fly up in the air. It's a cutscene, but you press the button to activate a certain move, and like when you're fighting Cerberus, like Sora gets thrown up into the air, and he's running across, slashing all of them. Like, it's really crazy and really intense when you're fighting bosses. They make it, you can really tell they put a lot of hard work and time into this game, and you can tell because they take forever to put out new games. Like, the time gap from number 1, Kingdom Hearts 1 to Kingdom Hearts 2 was I don't know, 3 or 4 years maybe. Something like that. Definitely years. And we can tell how long it's been since number 2, because we still haven't seen number 3 or we've heard extremely little about it. But we're getting Birth by Sleep, so that's cool, and I'll definitely pick that up. So Kingdom Hearts 3 is definitely on its way, so that's good. And so next is the graphics. The graphics in this game are phenomenal. Like, during gameplay, they're pretty good. They're definitely not bad. I'd say, above average, definitely. But what really makes the graphics in this game stand out are the cutscenes. The cutscenes take the PS2's graphics to the limit, top-notch graphics during cutscenes. And the cutscenes, they really get you into the game. They really make you feel like you're there. And it feels like you're watching a soap opera or a movie, but more intense than a soap opera. Of course, it's not lovey-dovey, stuff like that. It's really intense, and the graphics during the cutscenes are just, like I said, top notch. And I'll probably put a cutscene up from 358 over 2 days, actually, just to show you like what Square Enix really does with these games, because they really take it to the limit. Like with DS, like the cutscenes in 358 over 2 days, you know, if you showed me the cutscenes from this game and told me it was from a DS, from a Nintendo DS, I probably wouldn't believe you, because they're for DS, they're really good. Like, they're worthy of PS2 graphics, actually. So yeah, I'll probably put up a little cutscene from 358 over 2 days.
You're early.
No, you're just late. Today makes 255.
What's that about?
It's been that many days since I first joined the organization. Man, time flies.
So, you got the number memorized, do you?
Yeah. Have to hang on to something, right? It's not like I have memories from before the organization. Don't you remember? I acted like a zombie.
Right. That first week, you could barely form a sentence. But come on, you're still kind of a zombie.
Oh, thanks.
Hey, Roxas. Bet you don't know why the sun sets red. You see, light is made up of lots of colors. And out of all those colors, red is the one that travels the farthest.
Like I asked, know-it-all.
Yep, so, overall, I'd probably give the game, like, a 9.6. And the reason I'd give it a 9.6 is because storyline, top-notch. Graphics, top-notch. The only thing that holds this game back, and it's just slightly holds it back, is just the gameplay, like I said earlier. It can be slightly repetitive. Like, during boss fights, you'll find yourself doing the same, you know, command moves over and over again. But, you know, it's not too repetitive. It still stays really interesting and really fun. You don't get bored with it. But, you know, that's the only problem. It's slightly repetitive. But that's the only thing holding me back from really giving it like a 10. Because these games are awesome. And the basic storyline of this game is, you know, Sora and all his friends, Riku, Kairi, and a lot of his other friends are on the island, and the darkness eventually reaches his world, the Heartless, and so he loses his friends, and he ends up in, I think it's Traverse Town that he lands in first, and then so he's searching all these other worlds, trying to find his friends, and you meet allies along the way, Disney characters, of course. Like on the back of this one, you have Jack Sparrow, and you know, you have Pete from Mickey, and then you have Stitch, and you know, tons of other characters, and you can team along with these characters and do special moves with them, and just, it's really interesting, guys. If you have not played this game yet, definitely pick it up. It's so worth it. If you're not into it for the gameplay, if you're not into it for, you know, the graphics, you know, you'll definitely be interested by the storyline. Because, I mean, this game could be a book, and it'd be a top seller, I'm telling you now. It's great. Alright, guys, so that's pretty much the review of Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, and Kingdom Hearts 2 and 1 and all, basically the whole series. So, yeah. And a lot of you are wondering, like, why is this my first video on a Kingdom Hearts game if my name is Dual Roxas 44? Well, like I mentioned earlier, they take a really long time to put out, you know, games, so we don't get much news that often, and it really takes forever to Square Enix to put anything out. Birth by Sleep is coming out soon, so definitely pick that up in a couple months. Alright, guys, that's it. Remember, check out Uchiha Sharingan 97's page, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks, and this is the review of Kingdom Hearts.